Hey guys, it's Memorizer92, and today I'm gonna cover Brelshaza Legion Raid Gate 6. Then let's get started. Before you go in, you need to prepare some battle items: Time Stop, Whirlwind or Dark Grenade, and Swift Rope or Marching Flag. Time Stop is needed since you can die by falling from the field. Classes that have low stagger are recommended to hold Whirlwind Grenade. Other classes can hold Dark Grenade to push the DPS. Swift Rope or Marching Flag can help you do certain gimmick easier. When you enter the raid, the boss will have 250 HP bars, and you can die by falling out of the field just like Vulcan Gate 2. Then let me go over the major gimmicks first. Around 210 HP bar, the boss teleports to the center and isolates all 8 players into a hallucinated space. Each player will see different shapes on the screen: circle, Venn diagram, triangle, square, pentagon, hourglass, octagon, and star. All the players have to memorize what their shape is. At the same time, the boss will shoot missiles, so stay on backside of her to avoid them. You can see a debuff mark above your character and mana bar. This is called pointer reverse debuff. Your character will move to the opposite side of where you click. Then she will show safety zones 3 times in a row. You have to hurry to all 3 safety zones. The thing is, on the second safety zone, the pointer reverse debuff disappears and applies back again on the 3rd safety zone. So you should concentrate and move to the safety zones clicking on the correct side. Players who fail to go to the safety spot will be guaranteed killed. You should also memorize the safety zone directions. In this case, the shape is star and the safety directions are 7, 0, 11. 0 means center is safe. If you survive in the isolated space, players will gather back and the boss will start to shoot missiles everywhere. If you stay close to her front, then you will be able to see one of 8 shapes. Players who saw the revealed shape should let all players know what the shape is. Then the player who had that shape in the isolated space have to reveal the directions of the safety spots, since all of the players will have to move to those spots again. The boss doesn't reveal the shape of the player who is already dead, but she have a possibility to show that shape if the player dies in the isolated space. This means that player would not be able to memorize his safety directions, and other players have to start guessing the spot if the boss shows his shape, which will most likely be a raid wipe. If everyone survives, that's the end of the gimmick. The raid leader normally uses a Xena after the gimmick to deal the damage. Around 188 HP bar, you will see a cutscene of her striking meteors. All of the players have to gather to 12 o'clock direction. Then 8 meteors will be assigned to the players, yellow for the first one, blue for other 7 players. They will strike the tile where you are after a few seconds. Now let me go over about this meteor gimmick. It is very important and all of you have to understand, since this gimmick happens a lot until she's taken down, and it's the key gimmick for the whole run. There are 9 tiles in this gate. Each tiles except for the center tile have 3 HP. The center tile has 14 HP. Blue meteors reduce 1 HP on the tile where it strikes. Yellow meteor reduces 3 HP. When the tile's HP becomes 0, then it gets destroyed, and you can die by falling when you get knocked out to that place. You can visually tell how many HP the tile has currently. The problem is when more than 3 tiles are destroyed, then the boss wipes the raid. But the yellow meteor has a larger range of hitbox compared to blue, so you want to put yellow meteor on the end of the vertex side since it only strikes 3 tiles in this way, which will avoid the wipe. Now let's go back to the first meteor sign at 188 HP bar. First meteor is yellow, other 7 are blue, and people gets assigned in random order. The faster you get the meteor, the faster it falls, but the yellow one will be the last one that will fall in this gimmick since it takes a longer time for it to fall. First person who got the yellow meteor drops it at the end of 12 o'clock. Second and third blue in the 12 o'clock tile as well. 4th, 5th, and 6th in the 11 o'clock tile. And lastly, 7th and 8th in the 1 o'clock tile. The reason why you split like this is because, for instance, if all players gather in 12 o'clock tile, then the meteors will all strike that tile. And since the time of the meteor for every player is different, players who have later numbers will not be able to evacuate because first, second, third blue meteors will break the 12 o'clock tile, and later numbers will die by staying there before they can even drop their meteors. Therefore, the safest and the optimized way people came up with is this way of splitting. As soon as your meteor starts to fall, you have to spacebar to other tiles except for 11, 12, 1 o'clock tiles since they will get destroyed because of the yellow meteor, and you will die if you stay on those tiles. If everyone survives, then that's the end of the gimmick. The tiles regenerate after 1 minute and 40 seconds from the destruction, and you have to check the time of the destruction by typing the berserk time of the boss. In this case, the berserk time points 1717, so you type this time minus 1 minute and 40 seconds, which is 1537 in the chat. I will tell you the reason why you have to do this later. Also, from now on, blue meteors will be assigned to random players for every 1 minute. The amount of meteors that gets assigned to the players grows starting from 2 to 4, and starts again from 3 when it reaches 4. You have to drop the meteors on the tiles, but the problem is you don't want to destroy other tiles when 3 tiles are not regenerated yet, since that will wipe the raid. Here is an example of dropping the meteors. Let's say you drop 2 meteors at 5 and 6 o'clock tiles. By the time this happens, the upper 3 tiles will be regenerated after 40 seconds since the regeneration time of the tile is 1 minute and 40 seconds. By the time the next 3 meteors get assigned, the upper 3 tiles will be already generated and you drop it at 5, 6, and 7 o'clock tiles. Okay, hope you guys understood so far. But blue meteors are not the only thing you have to consider. You also have to see 4 yellow meteors in total in one run. Unlike blue meteors, yellow meteors get triggered upon the boss's HP, not the time. The first yellow meteor already happened at 188 HP bar, and the second yellow meteor will be assigned at 137 HP bar. The person who got assigned have to move all the way to 6 o'clock vertex and drop the meteor, which will destroy 3 tiles in the bottom. Now here's the reason why you have to check the time whenever the yellow meteor destroys the tiles. Let's say your party DPS is fast enough to take your HP down to 137 from 188 in 1 minute and 40 seconds. Then your raid will be wiped since the second yellow meteor will be assigned even before the regeneration of the top tiles. Therefore, you have to type the destruction time just in case to stop DPS if your party DPS is too strong. For the second yellow meteor strike, you just have to minus 1 minute from the berserk time. Let me tell you the reason on the next gimmick. Then you will see 4 blue meteors, which you can split it on top side like this. One thing you can notice is that 3 and 9 o'clock tiles are not used. The reason is because you want to save these 2 tiles as much as possible as spare tiles, since the party will most likely wipe if both of the tiles already have low HP when you consider the yellow meteor that will guarantee destroy 3 tiles. You want to use 3 and 9 o'clock tiles in a very urgent situation when you cannot reach to the correct tile in time. The next gimmick happens at 113 HP bar. If your party can take their HP to 113 before the next blue meteor gets assigned, that's the best. If not, it's still okay since the amount of the blue meteors will start from 3 again and you can drop it like this. Around 113 HP bar, the boss teleports to the center and a cutscene happens. By the way, all the tiles have to be regenerated for this gimmick. But because the cutscene is long, it's okay to check regeneration time by subtracting only 1 minute since cutscene is also included in the time. Also, the blue meteor timer will not be applied until this whole gimmick ends. After the cutscene, you will have to dodge 2 times of AoE attack by staying in the shrinking circle. Then, when she holds her hand, spacebar to the direction of your number, party 1 times 3, party 2 times 3 plus 1. Black hole will be generated in the center trying to pull the players, and it will guarantee kill you if you get hit by it. Also, there will be few yellow and a lot of red orbs pulled to the center with insane speed. If you get hit by the red orb by 3 times, then that's a guaranteed kill. Since it's not easy to avoid this, the raid leader normally uses Shandy right after players find their position to slow down the speed of the orbs. There will be 4 black orbs, 1 each on 4 random tiles where the players are, so rest of 4 tiles will not have these black orbs. People who have the black orbs in their position have to take at least 1 yellow orb while dodging all the red orbs. People who don't have black orbs in their position have to take 2 yellow orbs while dodging all the red orbs. After a few seconds, the black orb will start to shake. This is when the player in that position touches the black orb. Soon, everyone else who didn't touch the black orb will be dragged into the center, teleporting them to a yellow field. People who were in the black orb will stay where the boss is. Touching the black orb before it starts to vibrate will kill that player. Also, not having enough amount of yellow orbs will kill the players as well by the time groups get splitted. So if no one dies, 4 people should be in the yellow field, which is called inner side, and the other 4 should be with the boss, which is called outer side. Now, very important, there will be clones on each directions of outer side, so 8 clones in total. 4 players have to browse around and touch the clones. There will be exactly 2 clones which will either turn to clockwise or to counterclockwise direction. You have to ping the tiles where the clones turned to let people in the inner side know. In the inner side, after several seconds, the 2 clones will appear in those exact directions. If the clone turned to clockwise direction in the outer side, then the players in the inner side have to stagger that clone. If it turned to counterclockwise direction, then the players in the inner side have to counter that clone when she holds her hand. When you succeed a stagger and counter on each clones, they will drop a yellow orb that will protect the inner side players from the guaranteed kill attack later on. So 2 orbs will be dropped, 1 from each clone, and 2 players have to take them. After several seconds, the clones will be generated again in the outer side, and the players have to browse again to find 2 more clones. Ping the tiles where it turns and let the people in the inner side succeed the stagger and counter. The rest of 2 players who didn't take the yellow orbs should take the rest of 2 orbs. So all 4 inner side players having the orb will prevent them from the guaranteed kill, and they will eventually come back to the outer side, which is the end of this whole gimmick. The raid leader uses a Xena after this gimmick resolves. Failing the stagger or counter on the clone will not generate the yellow orb, and a blue meteor will fall on that tile, reducing its HP. So if that tile had only 1 HP, then it will get destroyed, which will kill the people who were standing on it regardless of the inner side and outer side. After 1 minute, blue meteors will be assigned again. You can split them in the bottom part, or you can overlap them on 1 tile of the top side, which only have 1 HP except for 12 o'clock. Let me tell you why. Around 87 HP bar, yellow meteor will be assigned and the player have to drop it on 12 o'clock verdicts. If you overlapped blue meteors on 11 o'clock, like in this case, you can make the bottom part clean, and it will not matter on yellow meteor anyways, since if you put it on 12 o'clock, it will destroy only 2 more tiles, which is 3 in total. The last yellow meteor happens around 37 HP bar, so for the next blue meteors, you can split them on the bottom side like this. And for the next ones, you can split them like this. If you see another blue meteors, you can drop it like this. As you can see, the key point of dropping meteors is not to destroy the tiles when 3 tiles are already destroyed. Around 62 HP bars, the boss summons twisters that moves to 1 direction. At the same time, some of the players will have mark above the mana bar. Players who have the mark have to dodge the twisters since it will erase the mark with huge damage. It's important to keep the mark since after several seconds, players who kept their mark will be teleported to another space where the object is. You have to destroy this object, because if not, then it will generate large range of black hole that hinders the player's movement. Around 37 HP bar, yellow meteor will be assigned and the player have to drop it on 6 o'clock vertex in this case. That was the last yellow meteor, and the blue meteors will be continuously assigned to the players until the end of the raid, so you will have to keep splitting the blue meteors by not destroying the tiles. Around 28 HP bar, the boss will do the hallucination gimmick again. The blue meteor timer will not be applied during this gimmick. Unlike the previous hallucination gimmick, 3 tiles are destroyed, and the pointer reverse debuff will be applied in random sequence, which makes it harder to survive. The raid leader normally uses Inanna here since she removes the pointer reverse debuff on all players. Memorize your shape and safety direction by surviving the gimmick, and follow the direction of the shape that's revealed afterward. Around 25 HP bar, the boss destroys the tiles on each ×3 directions. You will have to combat her in the smaller field. From now on, there won't be raid wipe until you take her down, even if more than 3 tiles get destroyed. So that was all major gimmicks. This time, let me go over some important normal patterns. Most of them does lethal damage when you fail to dodge them, so make sure to be ready to use time stop whenever you can. Erasing lines. Some players get lines, others get spikes. The spikes have to rub their character on other player's line and take it. If not, a giant meteor will fall on the player who has the line, which does a lot of damage. Bar scattering. Several players who have bar have to stick together. Others who have donut have to stay away from them since it will explode and do a lot of damage. If bars fail to gather, that will also do massive damage. Gather and split. One person will get a red circle. All the players have to stick to him. After several seconds, someone else will get larger circle. Players who have donut have to move away since it will explode and do a lot of damage to others. Then all the players will have to gather again to the large circle. If not, players will get massive damage. Spike circle. A circle that has spike will move around the field. After several seconds, it will attack where the spike is pointing to, which knocks players out. Scythe. A circle with red telegraph appears. You have to go inside the circle since the scythe will knock out players on the other side with bleed damage. Glass. The boss summons a glass-looking field that has safety zones. At the same time, a yellow beam points to a random player. That player have to aggro the beam to the place which is not the safety zone since the beam knocks out players. Dash into the safety zone afterward. Grab. The boss grabs the front. If players get grabbed, they will be knocked out doing AoE attack on the back side of the boss. If no one is grabbed, she will do AoE attack on the front side. Grab and stagger. The boss dashes forward, then summons 2 red circles and 1 blue circle. 1 player is needed in each circle. Then the boss will grab 2 players in the red circle and require stagger check. Other players have to stagger the boss to resolve it. If no one stands in the blue circle, then it will do massive AoE damage to the players. If there's only few players, you can time stop as soon as she tries to grab the red circle. Counter. The boss either rushes or teleports. This pattern is able to counter on the second rush or when she appears. Cone attack. The boss AoE attacks in cone shape, which is able to counter on the second large attack. Failing the counter will knock out the players far away. Knockout. The boss shows yellow telegraph that knocks out players far away afterward. You must dodge or time stop since this is number 1 pattern that makes players fall and die. Even though you survive after the hit, you will get a stack of debuff that can stack up to 3. If it reaches 3, then a blue meteor will be assigned which will hinder managing the tile's HP. Imprison. The boss draws lines on the field that imprisons the players who got hit by it. Medusa. The boss summons Medusa Eye. If the pulse goes to outer side, then you should not watch the eye. If it goes to inner side, then you have to watch the eye. If you fail to match the direction, then it does some damage to you. Well guys, that's all for today. Thanks for watching and hit the sub if you liked it. Then see you guys on the next video. Bye bye.